Hello, folks, and welcome to Dried Watermelon.
So in the novels, Gandalf doesn't use this moth to speak and to get a message to Gwaihir, the eagle who rescues him. Gwaihir the eagle is soaring above the skies and sees Gandalf at some point. So it shows how majestic and how powerful Gwaihir and the eagles are. And it makes them a little bit more important than just the eagles that they ride on a few times. So I actually would have enjoyed that. But I think the use of the moth is actually also really effective because it shows that Gandalf has a connection with nature and the natural, and that he respects the little things and the little insects even. And it shows again, just like Tolkien wanted to show us, that even the most insignificant seeming people, the hobbits, can make the hugest difference, that even the moth can, that we should respect the unassuming one as well. So I don't mind the change here. So I know there's a little bit of controversy over this. I haven't really delved into that deep, but I thought in the novels that orcs reproduce or are tortured and twisted elves at first, but I thought they reproduce in other ways. I don't think that they come out of these cocoon-like states. But let me know if you know anything about the Uruk-hai and if that was different and if this is the way that they reproduce. So I'm a little bit unsure about this one. So this is quite a significant change. We're introduced to Arwen, who has a far more active role in the film than in the novel. Arwen in the novel is a little bit more passive, a little bit more of a background character, of love interest and so on. She takes on a far more heroic and active role in the film. I don't mind it. I was surprised. I was looking forward to meeting Glorfindel, who is a great elf lord, an awesome fighter and so on, who scares the Nazgul with his full essence and glory when he's shining. But I get why it was changed for Arwen. I can totally see this being the case. I can see it making sense. Although, again, in the novels, she's not really a fighter, and we don't really see that happen itself. So this is interesting. And of course, even at the end, Frodo himself will be on the horses, on the horse himself. He'll be on Glorfindel's horse, Asphalloth, and he'll be riding it, and then he will be defying the riders, but then he'll be overcome by their magic and so on. So this makes it a lot more dramatic, and it introduces us to Arwen's character a lot more effectively, I think. I actually don't mind this change. So along with Arwen being in place of Glorfindel, another really significant change here is it actually takes them about 14 days from when Frodo is stabbed at Weathertop to get to the ford of Brunnen and then Rivendell itself. So here it gives us a sense that they're all in a hurry and this is within like 1 day or maybe 2 days at the most. But really in the novels it's a lot more of a slow burn. It shows Frodo struggling with the wound from the evil shards and the Morgul blade. And I think that actually is a little bit more dramatic than this. So I wouldn't have minded if they had spread this out a little bit more to show the drama from 2 weeks worth of Frodo.
If you want him, come and claim him.
So Arwen doesn't actually cause the flood. It's unleashed by Elrond. And then, of course, the white foam horses. That's a nice little touch by Gandalf. That part's correct. But again, if you're going to introduce Arwen's character here, you may as well bring that together. And I fully believe that Arwen was a powerful elf. I bet that in the novels, if she was pressed to it, that she would have been able to have some powers and be able to fight. I mean, you can't be the child of Elrond, and I don't know if you know this, but actually the granddaughter of Galadriel without having some power herself. So this is believable to me. I don't mind this change.
You said you'd bind yourself to me.
This isn't really shown in the novel itself. This love scene between Aragorn and Arwen itself. It's part of the whole love story and the background to their romance. I get why Jack's included it, but the details themselves aren't really described at all in the book about what actually happens there. There's no allusion made.
I choose a mortal life.
You cannot give me this.
It is mine to give to whom I will.
In the novel, the Council of Elrond actually spends a lot of time giving the backstory and telling what happened and how they got to that point. All the ways from the history of the last alliance of elves and men to where they are at the council itself, because not everyone has heard the story, not everyone knows about the ring, not everyone knows about the enemy's maneuvers and so on. So Gandalf actually gives a lot of background information. And so, again, this is shortened for the sake of the novel, and they're just getting to the important part. What they think is the important part about what to do with the ring. In the novel, Frodo would never let the ring go like this. I don't think at this point. Right? We know that the ring bearers always struggle to give it up. And even after wearing it for a little while, they don't want to let go of it. So this part's a little bit unbelievable to me. I don't think it was a good change. I get why they did it. It's this little tiny heirloom item in the center for all these powerful people to see. But in the novel, I think it loses a little bit of the importance of how much of a weight it is for the ring bearer to carry it. In the film, they also leave out the whole point for Boromir seeking out the sword that was broken. The whole point of going to the Council of Elrond, of traveling, I can't remember how long it was, but for weeks through dangerous terrain and so on by himself. So I think it's kind of a shame that they left that part out. I think it would have added a lot more tension also, with the whole sense that he and Aragorn, that he didn't necessarily believe, or he was skeptical of Aragorn's claims at first. They have the whole scene where he bumps Aragorn later on and says that the shards of Narsil, it doesn't really mean anything. But I think that was, I don't know if that's actually how Boromir would behave from the novel itself. So I don't love that change itself. I think it would have been better for us to learn about Boromir's dream and then to be skeptical and to see a skepticism about Aragorn's claim, or about others claiming Aragorn's claim.
The ring must be destroyed.
Then what are we waiting for?
Gimli never tries to destroy the ring in the book. This is to make it more dramatic and to show that nothing physical can harm the ring, but it doesn't happen in the story.
If this is indeed the will of the council.
So Bilbo, Sam, and Frodo are all actually present at the council itself. And then Merry and Pippin aren't actually at the council. They don't hide and they don't show up at the end. This is, of course, to make it a little bit more comedic again, a little bit of comic relief, and then also to hurry up to show the nine together, the nine walkers. In the novel, there's no you have my sword, you have my axe, and so on. Elrond actually takes time. We're talking weeks later, because they spend a lot of time in Rivendell. Considering how urgent the quest is, I was actually a little surprised when reading the book how much of a lack of urgency it seems, and they're just chilling in Rivendell. Anyways, Elrond chooses the members, at least the majority of them at first. So this is definitely different and it's sped up.